Weekly, Euthanizing News.
Hello and welcome. So nice of you to join us in yet another exciting episode of your favorite online TV series, Youth Weekly on UTV Africa, the program that brings you a highlight of news that made headlines in the week, in the language and perspective of young people. My name is Helda Poulos.
And I am Faith Farmers. Here are some of the issues that made the headlines over the last week. National Conference will resolve security challenge, Mark.
89 escaped death as IRS plane crash lands in Kaduna.
Jonathan, governors, lawmakers and others harp on unity as Nigerians celebrate Eid al-Kabir.
Police uncover baby factory in Nasarawa, recover 28 children.
Market women protest ASU strike at the National Assembly.
Jonathan to security chiefs, no Salah break for you.
World Bank to assist Nigeria on power infrastructures with $1.4 million, Okonjo-Iweala.
18 billion naira debt. Imoke moves to privatize Tinapa.
Air crashes. NCAA begins safety audit at domestic airlines.
And on the foreign scene, US Congress approves debt deal. Those were some of the issues that made headlines in the news last week. Join us in a moment for discussion on some of these key issues. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Youth Weekly, Euthanizing News.
We are part of the solution.
We bring you youth perspective on issues. Youths have a voice.
We have a story to tell.
Youth Weekly, Euthanizing News.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Youth Weekly on UTV Africa. This is the segment where we take on some of the issues that were raised on the headlines. So Helda, Barka da Salah.
Barka da Salah to you too.
How was your Salah break?
Well, it was fantastic actually. Got a couple of colleagues come over and share some of the proceeds of the Salah, so I ate off the ram.
Okay.
And some confectionaries.
Oh, really?
So it was fantastic.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
For me, I got to rest a lot. I was at home, I got to rest. So, talking about security, I heard Jonathan really cautioned that during the national conference, a lot of attention was going to be paid to security.
Yeah, and it's on the news. I'm happy that he was not laid back. He was actually direct in ensuring that adequate security was guaranteed during the Salah celebration. In the spirit of the celebration, people could just step down on their vigilance, and people could actually take advantage of that. But I'm happy that the security agencies were on top of their game, and I didn't get to hear a lot of mishaps in terms of security breach.
I think I didn't even hear any, and that's something to be grateful for.
Yeah, that's
considering
very rare.
That lately, of course, it is no news that we've been having a lot of security challenges. So we're glad that at least we can see that they are at work and something is being done.
Actually.
And then in regard to security, what's happening to air traffic systems? What's happening to...
Well, this plane crash in Kaduna now.
Yes.
I'm happy that 89 people were able to escape that. However, a few might not have been so lucky. But it also tells a lot that the security system and the safety of air flight in Nigeria is becoming very questionable.
Yes.
Even though we consider air flight to be of relative safety, it's actually supposed to be the safest in terms of transportation. But of course, of recent we have reasons. People are beginning to have second thoughts when it comes to flying an airplane.
Yeah, you said suppose.
Yes.
It is supposed to be the safest, but when there's a plane crash once, it happens very rare, and it's okay. We understand that there are technicalities involved, and
things
of
go
course
wrong
it's a human system,
Yeah.
and no human system, of course, is perfect. But when it starts to occur very frequently, which is the case of late in Nigeria, it starts to raise a lot of questions. That where are we getting it wrong? I see that NCAA have gone into a safety audit of domestic airlines, and it gets me to ask, what have they been doing? Exactly, what have they been doing?
That actually begs that question. A streak of events actually led to this. If you remember the incident some time ago of the stowaway boy, now with scholarship.
Yes, now on scholarship.
How he was able to bypass security and get on board that plane and was only discovered upon landing. That's actually a very strong point of concern, because, all right, with little oversight on some of these issues, you have oversight on technical issues. I think these are the things that eventually lead to crashes like the one witnessed in Kaduna by the IRS airline. Now, I think the security and safety protocols need to be beefed up in our airports.
Yes,
to ensure safety, people need to be able to trust this system, because, of course, a lot of air travels are going on these days.
Because if a young teenage boy can pass through security, I can't wrap my brain around it. How did this boy come all the way past all the security checks? It's very disturbing. It tells me that if a young child can do that, how much more people who carefully sit down to plot?
Yes.
So it's very disturbing. I think that lots more attention should be paid.
And I hope that the result of this audit will actually expose some of the loopholes and some of the weaknesses in the systems. So hopefully something will be done about that.
Yes.
Then there is the issue that actually gets my attention in the news this week. And that's the fact that the ASU strike has degenerated to the point where market women have now taken it upon themselves to actually come out and start protesting.
What do you expect? Their children have been home for over 3 months. That's a long time. In fact, frankly, when I heard, I busted out laughing. Now, my laughter is not to suggest that I do not take this
seriously.
Yes, it's not. It's just disturbing. That is it so bad that market women need to go to the National Assembly to get them to pay attention to this? I'm not suggesting.
No, it's actually that bad, because it has been happening on and on, time and time again. And the reasons, I think government is beginning to run out of reasons why they shouldn't actually respond. Since 1999, you've reached an agreement. You need to come through. You need to actually show some level of commitment to what you say. Right? And what have we really seen in terms of government's commitment? Well, 130 billion naira so far, as opposed to over 500 billion naira that is being requested for infrastructure, earned allowances, and some other factors, But come to think of it, now, if mothers are actually concerned, of course, it's their children that are involved. All right. So if it has come to the point where they find this very, very disturbing to the point where they have to go to the National Assembly, I feel the government should be able to say, no, this is actually reaching, a peak, and we need to do something serious about it.
Yeah, and in line with that, something that has caught my attention of late. Now, there has been this funny trend I've noticed with the footballers.
Okay, that's sports and entertainment.
Yeah, when it comes to sports, like, it's become a trend now that motivation, monetary motivation, if you win this, if you qualify for this, we'll give you this, we'll give you that.
This goal.
Now, we're yet to see government come out and say students who are able to meet this level of academic excellence and achievement and all of that will be rewarded. Now, what are you saying to young people, that sports and entertainment are more important than education? Is that what the
I know there are a
suggesting?
few packages here and there for those who distinguish themselves, but I'm sure that government can do better in terms of motivating, especially our young folks, to be able to direct their focus in the right place, in the, our values, about value orientation.
Yes.
If you're giving millions for someone for kicking a ball around, all right, how many people out of a population of about 170 million
will actually get there?
We have more than 60% young people. How many people can become like Eminike, for example? Like John Mikel Obi. There are very few slots for people to distinguish themselves in sports and entertainment. Not every one of us can become Two-Face Idibia.
Certainly.
But of course, in our different educational fields, we could be able to gain the necessary knowledge and be exceptional, be able to provide relevant service that can solve real problems in a very real way.
Yeah.
Right? And I think government can encourage that.
Yeah, and I don't know, that's just by the way, you don't have to respond, but really, does football generate any revenue for Nigeria?
I think, in my opinion, that what is being spent, what is being invested is more than what is being obtained. If you consider the success story of Nigeria's football team in the past 10 years, I feel there's just an effort to resuscitate the team now. Stephen Keshi is making a lot of effort.
Yeah.
But that is to be approved. That is nice. Okay. But I think what is being spent is more than what is being gained.
So in that sense, that answers the obvious. We'll leave the obvious and
we'll
answer.
Leave the obvious. But of course, the advantages of education cannot be overemphasized.
Yes, certainly.
So we are appealing to the government to refocus priority on giving motivation and value reorientation so that young people will actually get the right message and be able to focus their priorities on things that matter most and things that can actually add to nation building. You can be part of this conversation and let us know what you think about these issues. Do you think that the government is actually focusing its attention on the right priorities? Let us have your say and post your comments on our Facebook page, facebook.com/UTVAfrica. You could also follow us on our Twitter handle at UTVAfrica. I will be glad that you did. You could invite your friends to watch this and other episodes of Youth Weekly. I'm sure you'll have a lot to gain from our previous discussions. Well, this is all we can take on this episode of the program. We hope that you'll keep the date with us same time next week as we come your way with more interesting news on the news that make headlines in our national dailies. So join us, and from me, it's bye-bye. Have a wonderful week ahead.